All right. Hey, everybody. It is Stu and David for right now. We're going to have a special guest in just a couple of minutes. And I can honestly tell you, it's been a long time coming getting to this webinar right now. So I need to do just a teeny bit of house cleaning and make sure that we have everything set up properly. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. And I will get out of the way. And a lot of you are so excited. My phone has been blowing up left and right. It's been crazy. I mean, just off the hook, going nuts with how great what everybody already a little bit knows about is excited about. But I want to be very clear about something real quick before we get started. What you're about to see tonight, we are probably showing you this prematurely. Okay. We get that. We understand that. But the truth is, it is so exciting. It is so incredible. We're like, we can't keep it a secret anymore anyway. Word is already starting to get out. So we decided, let's bring you on the inside with us. You're all behind closed doors. Yes, I know there's a ton of people on here right now. Yes, I know that there's some people that are brand new and that they're not even knowing what's happening or what's going on or really much about who we are. That's okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're one big family here at SocialX, okay? But I need to say something ahead of time, and it's really, really important. No matter what you feel or think you feel after you see this in just a little bit, please do not go try to purchase what you're about to see. Don't buy it today. Don't go sign up for it today or anything. We are making it so that you will do that through SocialX. Everything you're about to see right now, and I know you're going to be excited, off the charts excited, but if you go buy it and try to get it somewhere else, not only are you going to pay more money for it, it's going to make it difficult if you want to switch to SocialX when we launch it. We are launching 9 a.m. Pacific. We're going to have the meeting on, yes, Valentine's Day, as crazy as that is, February 14th. Okay. So you're not going to have to keep it a secret. You're just going to make sure that people don't sign up for it. That's all we're asking. Don't go sign up for it. Okay. And you'll understand after you see it all right now. So let me just tell you all, we are on a mission. We at SocialX, we people ask me all the time, hey Stu, why is this company different? Why are you different than other company owners? And I always say it's because I wasn't a businessman that started this company for profit. I was a networker that wanted a safe place to work. I never wanted to own my own company, right? I just wanted a place where the owners wouldn't do anything crazy to us. They wouldn't change the comp plan for the worse. They wouldn't cheapen the products, right? They understood that without all of you or us, the people that build the company, they have nothing, right? I get that. I've been in this industry 41 years. I always tell you, you don't know how blessed you are to not have to own the company or run the company and just be able to be an associate. Well, tonight we're bringing you behind closed doors, like you're kind of running the company with us for the next few weeks here, because we need your help to not have people sign up for this yet. Okay. So let's just get to it, everybody. Man, it's ironic that I'm having a hard time sleeping because I'm so excited when you see what you're about to see in just a little bit here. And it is helping me. The product is 100% helping me, but I am so excited and honored and humbled to be able to say that this is a part of our house here at SocialX. The plan is to build the best house, meaning our company, SocialX, that anybody's ever seen. And then everyone will want to come live in it, right? How cool is that? That's our plan, okay? Well, what I realized is this house just keeps getting so much better and better and better that it's not even a house anymore. Like with this announcement, this is like a mansion now, right? And who wouldn't want to come live in a mansion? Okay. So that's what's going on here. Everybody, before I turn this over to David and he'll introduce our special guest, and you're going to get to hear really the future of SocialX and what's going to change everything. And no other company in our industry will be able to do this. I just want you to know next time you hang out with David or see him at a big event, hug him tighter than you've ever hugged him before. Folks, he has been on a couple of year journey with this gentleman that you're going to meet, who's an amazing individual. I've just known him for a short time, but I've already decided he's one of my favorite people, right, out there. But what happened is he had been through some stuff in the industry and found out that he didn't have a great experience with some network marketing company owners. Well, David became friends with him a couple of years ago. And then David's been using the product you're going to see here tonight for a couple of years. About 6 months ago, David came to me and said, "Hey, this company wants me to write a book for them. And Stu, it's a really good thing. Might even be something for us in the future. I don't know. But if you don't want me to do it, I won't do it." I said, "David, I trust you with my life. Go write the book. I know you're not leaving XosialX and blah, 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 any of that." And he said, "Okay." So he writes the book. Then fast forward to about 5, 6 weeks ago, he calls me up and he says, "Okay, Stu, it's time. I think it's time for us to add one of the greatest things literally the world has ever seen, right? And all this stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, David, I'm at the edge of my seat. What is it?" And we already had so many phenomenal things happening. We had so many incredible things already underway, right? And then he told me what it was, and he introduced me to this gentleman you're about to meet tonight. And I was like, "Holy cow. This is like, I can't undersell this. This is like so much more exciting than anything I could have hoped for or dreamed for all of us, everybody." So remember this. This is a family, and we are expanding our family. And I heard this gentleman say that when you join his family, you stay together. And I was like, talk about how our values line up and everything that's going on here. So everybody just know this. When you see David, give him a huge hug, squeeze him tight, because he had a bunch of obstacles to overcome, including convincing this gentleman that I'm not like a lot of the other company owners out there. And I'm not saying anything bad about any other company. I'm just saying that he had to convince this gentleman of that. And because of that, now we have been given the rights to the biggest thing that I've ever had happen in my life. And I'm so grateful. Jim, I'm so thankful for you, and we're going to make you proud. We're going to do a phenomenal job because, folks, what you're about to see, we have the exclusive rights to the end consumer in our industry in network marketing. So you'll understand in just a bit. But anyway, David, make sure nobody buys it till July 14th. But other than that, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to get out of the way and let them see why their whole life is about to change for the better. Thank you, David. Thanks.
Thank you, Stu. That's great. And Jim, you can press so you're live. You go live with me. They'll put us side by side here, and that'll be fantastic. We'll get started. For everybody, let me see. Are we gonna? There we go. There's Jim. That's the person I know. And then I think they'll put us side by side. Perfect. Collie, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Poole, CEO of Solace Lifesciences, which is the parent company for NuCalm, which NuCalm.com, which a lot of you have checked out in the last week here. I just want to welcome you on to the program today in the interview, Jim, and just say that it's been a pleasure. There's more excited people here to take NuCalm around the world internationally than I've ever seen any product in my life. So welcome to the program, Jim.
Thank you, David. My apologies for sounding like I'm on Sputnik. I'm not. I'm in America. I'm in Tampa, Florida. And I'm trying to get that laser light out of my eyeglasses. I wish I didn't have to wear eyeglasses, but I do. I've got 57-year-old fatigued eyes.
Hey, Jim, I just want to open by this is most people when they come to me for to help out their company or to do whatever is they don't have a product list like you. NuCalm's trusted where performance matters. Special Forces uses Navy SEALs, Air Force, BORTAC, BORSTAR, the FBI Hostage Rescue, the FedEx Pilots Association, doctors, surgeons, 78 professional sports teams, Tony Robbins, Jim Quick, Roger Love, and I could continue to go on. How did that happen?
Well, it wasn't by design, David. People ask me, how are you so close with such important people? Well, I view them as the same people as anybody else, number one. Number two, I've not met a celebrity, an industry leader that I trade my life with. the pressure and stress and lack of trust in their ethers is significant. But I'll tell you this, if you were to take a technology into your life, be vulnerable with it, trust it, take it into your brain, that's a lot of trust. Right. And it changes your life. For example, if we can predictably lower your stress and help you think clearer, if we can predictably help you sleep better, have more energy, you adopt it. But from there, because you're with people you love, you start cascading this technology to the people that you love. Your spouse, your partner, your kids, your parents. And before you know it, you are steeped inside of their family. You're hearing things you don't really want to hear. You become their pseudo-psychotherapist because you're solving problems for them. So that's really how it all started. But David, our journey began in 1990. It had nothing to do with serving the DOD, the DOJ, the FBI. It had nothing to do with any of that. It had one expressed intent: help the human brain downregulate stress, specifically for complex trauma, and addiction. The people that are suffering quietly inside of their head and inside of their heart and inside of their soul and have no way to get out. First of all, they don't know what broke them, David. They don't know. They're not told physiologically what changed in their brain, chemistry and physiology post-trauma. And then the things that are out there to help them don't help them. So that's how this all started. But yes, it is pretty cool, the journey we've been on, and pretty cool the diversity of humans we get to serve. And I'll speak about that later.
When I was introduced to the product and taught how to use it, I mean, there's 6 programs. What I realized was I realized I was robbed as a youngster and an adult growing up. No one ever said to me, you could change your mental state on command, David, to one of 6 states within minutes without hardly trying. You did that.
We did that.
Yeah. That's and you did it by explaining and understanding, obviously, the neuroscience behind it. But can you talk about the science behind it and the role of the frequencies?
Absolutely. And I think this won't be the first and last time that we're in front of this audience. There's a lot of learning to unpack here. We're a neuroscience company, experts in applied neuropsychobiology. It's a 50-cent word. There's a lot of complexity here. Today, in 2026, if you think about how humans live, you'll be wholly unimpressed with the choices we make to impact our behavior. And we're not even aware of this. So for example, tomorrow morning you wake up, you're feeling mentally lethargic, you have a cup of coffee. It's not magic. It increases the frequency of your brainwave. Some people struggle through the day, have psychic pain. At the end of the day, they have a glass of wine. That's not magic either. It slowed down the frequency of their brain. People rely on stimulants, Red Bull, Monster Energy, 5-Hour Energy, espresso, Starbucks. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry to increase their brainwave frequency. People rely on drugs and alcohol that historically over time have always solved the riddle of stress and the immediate impact. Yeah, that'll get you out of stress. Now the consequences will create more stress, but it gets you out of stress. If you feel anxious, you take anti-anxiety pills. If you feel depressed, you take antidepressant. If you have trouble sleeping, you take sleeping pills. So I think people are starting to catch on. Humans regulate their mood, thoughts, and behavior by altering the frequency of their brainwave by ingesting stimulants or narcotic-based pharmaceuticals or CBD and recreational drugs. But it doesn't have to be that way, does it, David? So no. The esteemed neuroscientist, quantum physicist, naturopath, literally the smartest human being I've ever met. I've been around a lot of smart people. He spent 19 years of his life trying to figure out how can I help regulate your brainwave without narcotics, without stimulants. So let me take a step back for 1 minute and just
Yeah.
express how this all works. Life is vibration. Life is resonance. Life is frequency. The earth is all frequency and vibration. Now, this is a difficult concept for some. This inanimate object, a headphone, has a vibration, has a frequency. This eye mask has a frequency. This ring has a frequency. You have a frequency and you have a vibration at all times. And it is perpetually dynamic. We're never the same. You will not be the same right now that you will be in a minute. Vibration, frequency, and resonance. For example, think about this. You've never looked the same in a photograph. Sometimes you look awesome. You're like, wow, that's a really good picture. And sometimes you're like, is that even me? Your spouse never looks the same. Your kids never look the same. Why is that? Because we're vibrational beings. We ambitious humans set goals. When we achieve those goals, we're disappointed. Why? Because there is no end point. There is no end. It's a constant vibration. That's life. But in this vibration and frequency world, our brains, the human brain, 8.4 billion of our brains, oscillate in a frequency range. Every one of us. That frequency range is 41 hertz. It is 5 categories. Delta, theta, and alpha are slow waveforms. These are slow frequencies in sleep. Beta and gamma are fast frequencies in action. So let's unpack this for a second. And this is one of the things I like about neuroscience. This is math and physics. There's not a lot of gray issue. It's not a lot of what if or maybe. This is direct. When your brain is oscillating 0.5 hertz to 4 hertz, we know what you're doing. You're in dreamless like deep sleep. When your brain's at 4 hertz to 7 hertz, we know what you're doing. You're in a lucid dream state where your cells are cleaning their toxins and doing your cellular maintenance, and your mitochondria is restored. This is the healing zone of the human body. That sounds like a place you want to visit. It's true. If you want to live a long life, have resilience, and deter yourself from disease, you want to spend time in theta. And theta is the reason why humans must sleep to stay alive. Many people don't know this. If you don't sleep 12 consecutive days, you don't live day 13. Why? Because your cells have to do their restorative healing. So that's theta. It's like a lucid dream state, just above deep sleep. And it's a specific frequency. Alpha is 8 hertz to 12 hertz. This is synonymous with creativity, being in the zone, falling into sleep. So 3 of the 5 categories of our brainwave is in sleep, which would further reinforce the importance of sleep. Beta, 13 hertz to 15 hertz, is you're awake but not overly inspired. 15 to 20 hertz is the learning zone. That's right. There's a zone and a frequency associated with encoding new information, learning things, and consolidating that to memory. This is frustrating for many when they first learn. What do you mean there's a frequency to learn? Then they stop and they say, you know what? All the hours in my life that I lost trying to learn when my brain wasn't in the right state, holy cow, that's like a couple of years worth of time. Think about the last time you were reading a book and you got up to use the restroom and you come back and you look at your book and you're like, where was I? I didn't read that. Then you flip the prior page. I didn't read that. Then you flip the prior page. Because your frequency is either too slow and you were mentally lethargic, or your frequency is too fast and you were distracted. So 15 to 20 hertz is the learning zone, specifically 18.4 hertz. 20 to 25 hertz is where many people spend most of their day. Fear, stress, anxiety, worry, impatience, agitation, distraction. Think about it. Fast frequency. Oh, no wonder my brain is distracted. No wonder I'm easily agitated. 25 to 30 is more of the same. This is when you're having a bad day. And of course, when you're having a bad day, your friend looks at you and says, wow, you're grumpy. Wrong thing to say, man. I will attack you with vigor. My frequency is going too fast. I'm not in control. I'm certainly not in command of my thoughts. And then above all of this, stress and chaos, there's a sweet spot called gamma. Gamma is 39 to 41 hertz. And this is synonymous with being mentally acute, really peak in your energy and your focus, but also activating your olfactory, your gross motor cortex, your sensory motor rhythm. You're literally prepared for unstoppable certainty. So, with that being said,
Yeah.
every single human being, every single day, your mood, your thought, and your behavior is directly correlated to the frequency of your brainwave. So hopefully this demystifies how we live and how we function. None of this is magic. Coffee's not magic. Red Bull's not magic. White wine's not magic. These aren't magic.
Yeah.
What Blake created, David, is magic. What Blake created was a software filled with magic. We're talking 250 megabytes to 3 gigabytes of math, physics, algorithms, pitch and frequency matrices, as much complication as you could possibly imagine and then some in software. Then we put music on top of this software. You put a headphone on. We then present your brain with signals, precise signaling that your brain synchronizes to. And after 19 years of invention, research, and discovery, in 2009 we launched this product in medicine with the design impact to take anybody's brainwave and bring you down to 4 hertz, remember the healing zone, and do this within minutes with no effort. So that is what we created.
Yeah. Jim, so that's why I felt like robbed when you told me this the first time and I started to use it, where you said, Dave, you can pick the alpha, the gamma, the theta, which their names are products of flow state, focus, ignite, energy, power nap, how to get to use the product, the NuCalm, for 20 minutes and get the rest of 2 hours. So and then rescue to recover, and then deep sleep at night. It's just incredible to me that they all have a frequency, and with NuCalm in the headphones, I just dial in. I pick what I would like: power nap, ignite, focus, deep sleep, and I just push the button. And my brain, the vibration, I'm going to go up or down to the 0.5 for sleep and 41 for energy and ignite with Tony Robbins. And it's doable. And no one has ever told us this.
No.
There were no products.
No.
So it's just amazing for everybody out there. I say that, and I'm saying it twice, because the power is you. You now have the ability to max and be the most incredible person that you could have ever been, because you understand what the use of your assets. You can use and leverage your assets.
When you think about going out to your community and bringing a product or a service to the world, how would you like to have the only product of its kind ever invented?
Yeah.
That's what we've done. We've stood alone as a company of one for 36 years. This is the 18th year of leading this enterprise. I'm going to share with you, this audience, a few differentiators, because don't take my word for it. Trust the facts. We have 52 medical advisors. These are not proctologists and internists checking my blood pressure. These are the world's leading statistical biophysicists at Harvard Medical School, NASA mathematicians, a former medical director of the NFL, neuropsychoimmunologists, medical oncologists, neurosurgeons, neurologists, you name it. We did it. Why? When you're pioneering in creating things that have never existed before, there is no roadmap, there is no benchmark, there is no frame of reference, there is no research guide. There's literally nothing to lead. So we went out and found these amazing people. I didn't invent the neuroscience of NuCalm. That really helps the vision of this company, because I am not plagued with inventoritis and I have no ego attachment to the invention. But boy, am I intrigued, and boy, do I love data. So we went out and found the best and the brightest. And we said, this is what we've created. Either help us corroborate it or destroy it. And when you do this, we are not here to influence your decisions. We're not here to influence your research design. These 52 medical advisors, David, have never earned a penny from our company. In fact, they never got anything for free. So we kept ourselves pristine. Now, they're the best in the world at what they do. Collectively, they came up with the ideas of how to measure this. In 2015, from 2011 to 15, we did 5 years of research studying the impact of the NuCalm product. The NuCalm product from 2009 to 2021 was an FDA Class 3 medical device. It was complicated, it was expensive, but it was powerful. And it was designed to take your brain to 4 hertz. Remember, the healing zone. From 2011 to 2015, we studied stage 4 cancer patients with the Chicago Blackhawks. At that point, if you recall, they won the 2010, 2013, and 2015 Stanley Cup championships. We started working with them in 2011. Every single player used this. In fact, Gatsky, their trainer for 36 years, said, without NuCalm, we would not have won the Stanley Cup. Yeah. 5 years of research, we showcased it doesn't matter who you are. We will reduce your sympathetic tone and lower your stress within a couple minutes. We will hold you in this healing zone of theta. Your parasympathetic nervous system will rise and elevate to levels of amazing healing and restoration. Your vagus nerve will be activated. Your breath will slow down to 1 breath every 10 seconds. The entire body, from your toes to your prefrontal cortex, will be oxygenated. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the healing zone, and we can do this within 4 to 8 minutes with a headphone and an eye mask. So 2015 July, we are awarded the only patent in the world for a system and method used to balance the autonomic nervous system of a human being. Now, for any of you studying the art of patent law, our company has 2 primary objectives. 1, we have to prove novelty. Whatever we've invented never existed before on Earth. 2, we have to prove efficacy. That's what took us 5 years with the best scientists in the world. Health, resilience, longevity, mental acuity, emotional regulation and balance all begin with a balanced nervous system. When your nervous system is in balance, everything's easy. The problem is, nobody's nervous system is in balance, so nothing's really easy. In Western medicine, we apply ointments and salves and Band-Aids. We're managing symptoms. We're not doing root cause analysis. There's no holistic approach. But if you balance the nervous system, all heal begins. Everything begins with a balanced nervous system. So here we are, 11 years later. We're the only technology in the world clinically proven and patented to balance the nervous system of a human being. The profundity of that statement is mind-boggling. This is literally one of those pivotal moments in human evolution where we'll look back a couple centuries and say, wow, that's where this kind of shift happened. So what we can do, and what we've proven ad nauseum for 18 years, is we can, with great precision, dial your frequency to whatever outcome you select. And it is true that from 2009 to 2021, we were an FDA Class 3 medical device. Most of our work was done in surgeries. November 5th, 2009 in Chicago, Illinois, we do our first surgical procedure. No general anesthesia. The patient is wearing an eye mask. You must block light. Your brain cannot get into theta with your eyes open. Your brain cannot get theta being visually stimulated by light. So we block the light. We put a headphone on for 2 reasons. 1, your brain's easily distracted, doesn't want to be managed. Number 1. Number 2, the way the physics and the delivery mechanism of the signal requires a headphone. You put the headphone on. 4 minutes later, we take a highly anxious patient pre-surgery who does not want to be there, and we put them in a state, literally a lucid dream state, of deep theta. You wheel them into the operatory and you operate on them. So if you're curious the power of physics, the power of NuCalm, and the power of the human brain, that's what we do. Today, we've done over 2,700,000 surgical procedures. I'll repeat that. 2,700,000 surgeries replacing general anesthesia. I've personally witnessed more than 500 of them. And it never got old. Literally, I'm like, how the heck are we doing this? And you'd interview the patient, and before the surgery, they were a mess. You just wanted to give them a hug. Their neck was red, their saliva was all over the place. They were speaking in gibberish. They weren't even speaking English. Their eyes were darting all over the place. You're like, you're going to be okay. After the surgery, they look right in the camera and say, I knew you were operating on me. I couldn't find a place to care. So that's how this started. It was in 2016, I was with Dr. Holloway in a hospital in Texas. We were witnessing a surgery, and I was flabbergasted. And I looked at Doc. I said, Doc, if we can take everybody's brain to 4 hertz, and it doesn't matter who you are, from monks to punks, pilots to passengers, elite military, professional athletes to weekend warriors, it does not matter. Remember, this is math and physics. Can we take their brain to 0.5 hertz, Doc? Can we put them to sleep? Yes. Can we take them to 7.83 hertz and put them in a creative state? Yes. Can we take them to 18.4 hertz and put them in a focused state? Yes. Can we take them to 41 hertz and put them in a peak performance state? Yes. See, the beauty of Doc Holloway, not only was he an intellectual genius amongst geniuses, he never said no. I never heard no from him in 12 years of being his partner in this world of evolution and amazing invention. I never heard no. Now, he had Asperger's. And with Asperger's, it's a little challenging in the executive functioning. So there's never any timeline, and I never knew how. But I always knew yes. And that confidence, let me just keep going. So along the way, ladies and gentlemen, from 2009 to 2021, we're a single product enterprise. NuCalm, $6,000 FDA Class C medical device. One outcome, 4 hertz. Amazing. Balance your nervous system. Amazing. Improve your sleep quality with no drugs. Amazing. Not good enough. Over the next 5 years, David, we took the algorithms, all the math, and we tweaked the endpoints. And then we refined them. It took us 5 years, but we figured out if we can do this, then we can do this. If we can do this, then we can do this. So today, as you mentioned, on a single mobile app, we have every outcome that you could want in your life. Deepest sleep, 0.5 hertz. Rescue and power nap, 4 hertz, healing. Flow state, 7.83 hertz. Focus, 18.4 hertz. Priming, 40 hertz. Ignite, 41 hertz. You don't need coffee. You don't need white wine. You don't need CBD. You don't need lavender spray. You don't need pharmaceutical intervention. You don't need any of it. You just need a headphone and an eye mask.
You can change your mental state. So digest that, everybody. You can change your mental state on command to one of 6 different programs, which you have learned there. It'll take you up or down to the 4 hertz or 41 hertz or wherever that is, and put you in that state. It's absolutely amazing. You have the 2 patents that the only neuroscience patents ever issued of its kind, correct?
Correct. And they're monster ones. They're huge.
Yeah.
The first one, as I mentioned, balancing the nervous system of a human being. Doesn't get bigger than that. If the core of all your health, longevity, and resilience resides in your nervous system, we have the only technology patented to deliver a solution. Right. Number 2, in August of 2021, our technology was awarded another patent for a system and method used to elicit a state change in the human brain. So the gimmicks and the gadgets and the garbage that's proliferating the capitalistic markets of America. In American consumerism, when there's a void and a need and a demand, there's just a proliferation of garbage. And I've witnessed it for 10 years. We're busy, like Willy Wonka's neuroscience company, from 1990 to 2009, and 2009 to 2022. It took us 32 years to figure out how to map the entirety of the human brain. 32 years. That's what we were working on. So you said earlier, how'd you guys do all this work with all these other folks? We never did that. We accepted their invitation to help them. I never went to the DOD. I never knocked on the Pentagon's door. I never went to Quantico and knocked on their door. I never went to a professional athlete. What happened is, who gets surgeries? Humans. When humans got surgeries, they're curious. They go and have a surgery, they're not knocked out. Their central nervous system is not compromised. There's no general anesthesia. So invariably, what will happen is that person will call their surgeon the next day, or the surgeon calls them for post-op healing, and they say, "What did you do to me? That was amazing. I feel amazing. I'm healing faster." That's how we got into the Chicago Blackhawks. That's how we got into the military. That's how we got into the FBI and the DOJ. It was us doing our work focused on product development, refinement, patents, clinical proof, clinical studies, and in parallel, doctors doing this in surgery, people becoming aware of it, and then opening up and cascading these target markets.
Jim, I've got to get towards the close here. I'm going to just ask you a couple questions. Is SocialX, why the relationship with SocialX, and why give us the exclusivity in the space we're in?
David, as you know, better than most people on this call, it's not what you know most of the time, is it? It's who you know.
Who you know.
You came to me not as a wolf in sheep's clothing a couple of years ago, through a mutual friend. There was no design here. There was no, here's our path. Hey, we're going to connect the dots and we're going to bring Stu in. We have been, you and I, collectively going down this path together, doing cool stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a cool enterprise. I get to do cool stuff. I get to work with elite military operators and keep them safe and mission ready. I get to work with elite DOJ and FBI and the hostage rescue team. I get to work with the defense minister of Ukraine. I get to work with 36 people last Tuesday with stage 4 cancer. The diversity of what we do, but we're only a small team. We're a small team of scientists, of people doing the right thing when no one's looking. So when you brought this opportunity to me, it is true that we've had 3 starts and stops in this industry. It is true that in pursuing those 3, we weren't too aggressive, we weren't too ambitious, we didn't believe a lot of the hyperbole, but there was signs that maybe something's not right here, I don't know, but none of them got off the ground, okay? When you brought this opportunity to me, it was not, hey, this sounds like a great opportunity for profiteering and expansion. No. You said, I got good people. I got good people that like to do good things for good people. And they're good at what they do. Yeah. Would you be interested in entertaining this? Well, as you know, better than anybody else here on this call, I don't have a lot of time. I'll be in Singapore in a couple of days. I'm all over the world. Time is not my ally. So I said to you, if you take the point on this and you take the lead on this, we will do anything we can to support the expansion globally of what we have. Ladies and gentlemen, you can take to your bed tonight with great comfort that you have a company for 36 years that's been trying to figure out how to solve complex human problems with advanced neuroscience solutions. We've done all the hard work. Probably the biggest cool factor of NuCalm is that November 15, 2021, we successfully transitioned from an FDA Class 3 medical device to a mobile app. A mobile app. Why did we do that? Because we wanted to lower our price $6,000 to $49.99, compress our margins and go out of business? No, that's not why we did this. When you have a technology so profound, you better figure out how to make it affordable, accessible, and easy to use. That is the gift. The social psychology of looking at human behavior. How do you adopt new products and new things? How do we do this? So nobody on this call will ever know the level of meticulous design and the complexity of the neuroscience. I know this because 52 of the best and brightest scientists in the world collectively for 16 years haven't figured out what we did. And I've done over 600 medical lectures all over the world. The keynote at Deepak Chopra's Neuroscience Summit, the keynote at the 20th Annual Congress of Brain Mapping and Brain Therapeutics, lecturing at the Pentagon, Quantico, you name it. People don't know what we do. And you know what? It doesn't matter.
Right.
The microwave was invented in 1946 by a Raytheon physicist. It didn't become a household item until 1986. The arc of a pioneering product is typically about 40 years. Why? Because the human brain demands a point of reference. If I try to explain to you what we did, your brain literally gets paralyzed. It's looking for an anchor. How do I compare this? I can't. Now I shut down. I have no idea what you're talking to me about, and I can't even anchor it as a point of reference, an analogy, a metaphor. I'm lost. That's the challenge and curse of being a pioneer. We don't suffer that anymore, David. We have a mobile app. So all I need to do is say, hey, buddy, you having a tough day? You're not sleeping well? Not dealing with anxiety well? Do you have access to a headphone? Do you have a mobile phone? We can help you.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of what we've done. I have seen a couple questions on here, David, if I may.
Yeah.
EMFs. Absolutely, you want to protect yourselves from EMFs. Like this protective gadget. You do need a headphone. You can do Defender Shield, EMF, and anti-radiation headphones. Every headphone that I do operates with a wire. The app was built for everybody, but we serve some really discrete audiences, like elite special forces operators who on a mission can't be pinging the GPS towers, obviously. So FedEx pilots, long-haul pilots, they're not going to have access to Wi-Fi. You can download every track and cache it to your device. So EMFs are not going to be a challenge for this. And we do a lot of work with people who are susceptible. There's been a proliferation of Lyme disease and immunosuppressive diseases, and people are sensitive. We're sensitive to that. Bluetooth speaker, yes, you can use a Bluetooth speaker. We recommend this speaker. All my 3 girls have this speaker in their bedroom. There's a wire to it. I use an iPad to deliver the track. I have a Sonos speaker in my bedroom. So, why do you need an eye mask? Let me just reinforce this. For rescue and power nap, when you're trying to get into that healing state of theta, which is something you should do every day. Hearing aids, yes. If you wear hearing aids, please wear your hearing aids. Put the headphones on. If you don't, or if it's uncomfortable, this is vibration and resonance. You don't really need to hear the music. We can still have an impact even on the hearing impaired. So an eye mask. You need an eye mask. Why? You don't sleep with your eyes open. You don't meditate with your eyes open. You can't relax and slow down your brainwave function with your eyes open. So please, rescue an eye mask. You need a headphone. You see, your brain doesn't want to be managed by anything ever. You have a perfect blueprint of perfect health in your genetic makeup. You're perfect. As we evolve and grow, things change and we start to self-medicate. We do things and environmental toxins and food supply and things get out of control. But your brain never wants to be managed. The beauty of NuCalm, and we didn't elucidate this, David, this is a Trojan horse, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned 36 years. I didn't mention $52 million of research to get here. But in that software, that 250 megabyte to 3 gigabytes of information in a single track. Think about that. A song's 5 megabytes. You're delivering like 10,000 times the amount of information. This isn't music for entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. This is music to create a distraction for you as we present your brain with precise signals in software underneath the music. Here's the cool part. You can't hear what we're doing. You hear nice music. You can't hear any of the physics. It is inaudible to the human ear. So as soon as you put a headphone on, I was tonight before this call looking at quantitative EEG measurements of 5 NFL veterans, looking exactly what happened. And guess what? The precision, once the headphone comes on and the eye mask, guess what? In 4 minutes, their brainwave function was at 4 hertz.
Yeah.
So that's what you need to do this.
Yeah. Jim, one last question, and then we'll talk about a common friend of ours and make a special announcement for people. Um, what what's the vision? What do you believe we're all capable of together 5 years from now?
I've seen a force multiplication in everything that we do. You've seen this too, David, and you're probably not even
Yeah.
aware of it. When you as a human are downregulated, when you as a human are oxygenated in your prefrontal cortex, this part of our brain, ladies and gentlemen, separates us from primates. This part of our brain is our patience, our presence, our executive functioning, our logic, our personality, our character. When we're oxygenated, when we're calm, we have plenty of blood flow here. When you're calm, everybody around you picks up on that.
Yeah.
When you're stressed, when you're agitated, when you're impatient, when you're miserable, everybody picks up on that. We're energy. Remember, energy and resonance and vibration. Have you ever walked into a room of like 5 anxious people and not left anxious? Of course you haven't.
Yeah.
Have you ever walked into a room of 6 depressives and not left depressed? Of course you haven't. So the force multiplication of getting this technology onto as many people's heads as possible just to take a breath. Collective of us, 8.4 billion humans on this earth today, we appear to be in a race to erase the human race. There's so many variables against us. What I love most about what Blake Holloway invented is he went right to the source. We don't need a gizmo. We don't need a gadget. We don't need transcranial direct stimulation. We don't need vagal stimulators. We don't need magnetic resonance. We don't need supplements. We don't need pills. We don't need any of it. Just get a headphone and we will regulate your brain to this precise place for you to heal and balance your nervous system. So what I see in this is a force multiplier of helping us bring this to the world. If we want to serve 8.4 billion people, only 7 billion people at this time have a cell phone. But if we want to serve humanity, there's maybe 10 million people that know we exist right now. Maybe 5 million people have tried it. It's time to bring this to the masses. We've done all the hard work. Now it's fun. Hey, let me tune you into a cool technology that'll change your life.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim, you've talked, you recognize, that you and I in many discussions know about I told you about the nanotechnology and the technology and the mist products that we have. It's just and now we have a personal care line that's the vibration story and is in there as well. They all synergistically work together. There's nothing in there. There's no funny business. There's no tricking people. It's the best that there is out there. The best that's out there to offer. So I just want to say one thing. You and I have a great friend, Mark Victor Hansen, and his wife. They're absolutely wonderful. Her wife's name's Crystal. I introduced Mark to Jim a year and a half ago or so, almost 2 years ago. You did this type of sit-down interview with them. We're going to make it available after the program tonight, which will end soon. You'll be able to go in the back office of your website and watch that, and as well, not just tonight, but any day, and just look at it. I'd like you to comment on how impactful that interview was with you.
I can tell you that I've known Mark for a decade. I can tell you that I have the luxury of meeting a lot of cool people. I also have the luxury of taking people that I like and keeping them close to my heart. Mark and Crystal are two of those people. They're just genuinely exceptional human beings with a big heart, a big mind, and he has a desire to live till he's 129. I love Mark. Mark's been using NuCalm. He was first turned on to it with me at the Consumer Electronics Show in 2017. Crystal's amazing.
Jim, let me just, for anybody who doesn't know, Mark is the Guinness Book of World Records, 600 million books sold. Him and his wife also, they've written another book there that they released last year. So they're absolutely awesome people. He's a legend in his own time here. And so I send it back to you. That's
So Mark Victor is, yes, I believe one of the most prolific authors in history, second to the Bible. He and
yeah,
Jack Canfield with the Chicken Soup for the Soul series have sold more books than anybody. Amazingly articulate, positive energy. He's pathologically optimistic. Many of you can relate to that. It's amazing. So
yeah,
we sat down and did an incredible interview, and they're very, very specific. I like Mark and Crystal. They spend a lot of time and energy thinking through what their audience would like to hear. Okay?
yeah,
This is a great interview, and it creates a lot of insight, a lot of understanding of the different verticals we serve.
yeah,
If you're thinking, hey, how does NuCalm
yeah,
impact cancer? And why do you work with medical oncologists and psychoneuroimmunologists?
yeah.
Or how does NuCalm work with students or focus or ADHD or any disease state? It's an incredible interview. And Mark and Crystal shared it with their entire network. And everybody who watched that, they loved it. They loved the interview. So please take some time. It's not
Yeah.
a long interview. It kind of hums along pretty nicely. But there's a depth and a breadth to it. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if nothing else, Mark and Crystal, you can just get a sense of camaraderie,
Yeah.
mutual love and respect, and fun. So it's a good way to learn more
Yeah.
about what we're doing.
Beautiful people. I'm going to bring back Stu on. Stu, would you come on? And he's going to close up for the night. Jim, I want to say absolutely thank you for everybody in the audience, for Stu and I and the team at SocialX, and everybody has been waiting for this night. They've heard about there's something special, and they weren't disappointed. So Stu, take it over.
Yeah, Jim, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. And everybody, don't worry, you're going to get all your questions answered. The one of the things that's most impressive about Jim and NuCalm and what they put together, there's so much, and we get to use all of it. You won't believe the stuff. We're going to like send out videos constantly from different people, like pilots and children, and just you won't even believe the stuff that's going to be going on. Like I would say, we could do video of the day for who knows how long and all this stuff. We're putting all that together. And I said July 14th, everybody wait till then, but I meant February, February 14th, Valentine's Day, just a few weeks away. Jim, I just appreciate you so much, so much. And I want to thank you for helping take a company that I know God gave us that is supposed to help everybody in the whole world, and we were just doing the best we could. And now, because of you and NuCalm, we're like basically going to be worldwide almost overnight. Everybody, we're going to open up on Valentine's Day way more than 100 countries, probably 170 countries, right? And so there's a lot happening behind the scenes. We will fill you in with all that. Do not go get the 7-day free trial somewhere else,
No.
because the somewhere else is Jim. Did everybody hear that? It's Jim. Then you're going to want it through SocialX. One of the gifts that David and Jim worked out, and this was without me, I can't take any credit for this, is Jim's giving us a competitive edge in the world, and we're going to get to sell the same app for 15% off for life. So when somebody buys it from SocialX, they're going to get 15% off for life. And it's going to be, there's $15 at the least expensive, and then it'll be 15% off of that. And then the most expensive is $49.97. And there's four choices. Okay. So it's not very complicated, or $49.99. And it's going to be 15% off of that. So if you go directly to NuCalm, get your free 7-day trial, it's $50 a month. If you get it from us, same 7-day free trial, it's going to be $42.50 about a month. And here's the best part of all, fully commissionable. Will qualify you. The 42.50 one, folks, in our company, you have to have $45 a month to be qualified for all your pay. Because of NuCalm, I'm lowering it to $39.99, because I want the 42.51 to qualify you for all your pay. So what we have done in the last few weeks is we've made it so we can collect payment in over 180 countries. We can pay you in over 180 countries. We can now go launch the world with NuCalm, build up thousands of users there, then use the profit from NuCalm, that the money that corporate makes off of NuCalm, to plant warehouses and bring in our products behind that. This is how we're going to go grow SocialX all over the world. And this is funding it now because of the profit from people having their whole life changed by the NuCalm app. So
Stu,
trust me.
may I just
Yeah,
reinforce this point?
sure,
We've been
sure.
selling NuCalm, started as a medical device and now a mobile app, subscriptions monthly and annual, for 17 years. We've never had a partner. We've never had a distributor. We've never had anybody that sold our product besides us. So when Stu said, if you go to NuCalm, you're going to me. Yes, we have price controlled everything we've ever done. We do a lot of work with the military and the government. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of diligence and oversight. David and Stu came to me and said, hey, if we're going to do this and really get behind this, we need exclusivity. And I told David, I said, we've never offered exclusivity to anybody. But I understand. And I also understand you can't go out there, work really hard, and then have someone undercut you or someone else be selling the same thing. So you, Stu, and David have full exclusive rights in perpetuity for this product in direct sales and network marketing, and we will never partner with anybody else. So that is a huge, huge piece
Yeah.
of this puzzle. And it's because the more you get to know our company, the more you see, well, that's what a company does when they do the right thing when no one's looking. We do the right thing. And that's the first thing I felt when I met Stu. Pathologically optimistic, enthusiasm that was contagious. And Dave is like, listen, this is a real deal. So we're so happy to be a part of this. And Stu mentioned this. This is an onion. The more layers you keep tearing off, you're like, wait a second. You guys can do that, and you do that, and you work with this team. And we didn't even get to collaborations with Tony Robbins on the app, collaborations with Jim Quick on the app, collaborations with Roger Love, the world's leading voice coach, on the app. It's on the app. You can literally put headphones on, and there you go. There's Tony Robbins and I training the Golden State Warriors together. There's Tony Robbins and I training the Washington Capitals together. There's Jim Quick, the world's leading brain coach, on the NuCalm app. So there's a lot to be excited about.
So I'm gonna let us wrap it up. I would hug you, Jim, if I was in the same room with you right now. Thank you so much. And I know some of you are gonna ask, so I'm saying this to be funny, but it's also true. You all know I trust David with my life, but I've known him 20 years. I've never ever seen him make a decision that would hurt anybody ever. But I just met Jim. So just so you know, Jim's already given it to us in writing. SocialX and NuCalm, we're partnered up. It's all in writing and stuff, but none of that matters. That's only if something goes wrong. What made me decide this is the focus for SocialX was meeting Jim and realizing he wants what we want. We want to better people's lives, right? We just want to do that. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be the ride of your lives. And there's going to be a lot of people that get financially free from this. What better way to get financially free than helping somebody sleep at night, have focus, have less stress, get off of, I don't need to go down the road that these gentlemen did. Okay, everybody, right now in your back offices, you can go into your SocialX back offices. If you're brand new on here and you're not an associate with us in SocialX, try any one product and you can get in and then you'll have a back office and everything, and it's free for the business. There's no cost for that. 60-day money back guarantee on the product. But in the back office, we've already put Chantel had it there about a half hour ago, the interview that Jim did with Mark Victor Hansen and his wife Crystal. And it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's about 45 minutes. It'll answer a lot more of your questions. But don't worry, you're going to be bombarded with everything you need to blow this up. You should see our new website. It's gorgeous. It's all coming and you're all going to get it for free. Okay, everybody? Don't buy the app anywhere else right now. Don't do it because we'll have to undo that and we don't want to. All right, David, thank you. Love you, buddy. Appreciate you, Jim. Man, are we
Yeah.
excited. We are going to do you proud. We're going to do NuCalm proud. I promise. Okay?
Thank you, Jim. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Stu. And absolutely, this is the greatest start I've seen. Let's go. Thank you.
Welcome to the family. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, guys.